Not in fire gear today. Let me show you what's going on over here. You're gonna wonder, why did I do this? Why did I get all these fire trucks? Why do we have fire engines? Why do we have a retired fire captain running the show now? Well, look around, we've had a lot of rain, and these hills are gonna blow up. You can see the grass from here, how high that grass is. Wow. A grass fire, you know, people don't take it seriously, but they kill more firemen than anything. Because they go out there, oh, it's just grass. Yeah, well, it burns so fast that it'll cut you off from everything, and it's very hot. So let me show you here why all the fire engines. Fire's an enemy to be fought. It hurts animals, it kills animals. So I started carrying this fire equipment, and I had a van that I had nothing but fire equipment in it. And whenever we had a fire, which was often, I would roll out to wherever the fire was and see where the engines were and if there were animals that needed help. And I did that often. Then up here, I put fire pumps in all the properties. We have 5 fire pumps connected to 10,000 gallon water tanks, which is a regular water tank out here. And we rehearsed that, you know, we practiced with it and saved the property, you know, the building and the animals in it. And then I realized in a firestorm, this is a little breezy today, but this is nothing. I mean, in a firestorm, the wind takes the embers. They call them firebrands, but they're embers. And do you ever wonder why a house burns down 5 streets over from where the fire was? It's the embers. It gets into the attic. It comes in through the vents. Those embers are what caused the damage. So out here, we'd have a firestorm, but we could have embers anywhere around the property. So I realized, well, the fire pumps in front of the buildings are great, but what about the animals out here in the property? So I bought a little fire truck, and I ran around with that. Anytime we practiced with the little engine, because I could go to a spot fire and put it out. And then the station fire hits. So the station fire started over the hills, and the night of the station fire, Saturday night, we could see those hills in the distance. We could see flames on those hills. So we had a vigil all night. We stood here and we watched and we waited. The brush was sort of like this, heavy, and we waited. And about 6 in the morning, man, I was tired. I put my head down on my little fire engine and I said, you know, I'd love to fall into an alternate universe, you know, a parallel universe where the fire is out and it's Sunday, sunny day. We go home, enough of this. I promise you, I did that for 30 seconds. I put my head up, the fire's out. I don't know to this day what happened. But as far as you could see, there's no flames. So meanwhile, fire truck comes up here from another city, big white truck, captain gets out. He says, you're gonna have to evacuate. I said, do you know who we are? Look around. Shelter in place. And he basically says, look, 1 o'clock that fire's gonna hit you. Well, there's no flames. 1 o'clock that fire's gonna hit you. And it's gonna hit you right down here. It's gonna hit you right where you're standing. Ah, okay. And then he says, good luck to you, and he left. So now I'm looking at this, there's no flames. About a half hour later, that mountain to the right over there, that blows up. There's horses on that mountain. There's cattle grazing. They blew that mountain up. That was a backfire by the feds. So I went, uh-oh. And now the wind is blowing, and I see flames starting up and coming down the hill. Nobody's flying. And then the DC-10 had done its thing, I guess, and a couple of planes started flying the hill, the perimeter. Way too late. The fire is alive and coming at us. Now, between the mountain and here, the flames out there by the telephone pole and the Edison poles out there, the high tension wires, those flames were 300-400 feet high. The fire engines look like ants. The intense wind, the height of the flames, the heat, and that mountain right straight in front of us had Fire Camp 16 up there, and they blew up the mountain not knowing Fire Camp 16 was up there. So Ted Hall, Arnie Quinones, they try to find a way out to get the guys off the hill. And while they took their truck down to find a way out, they went off the edge of a cliff and they fell into the fire and were killed. So we hear the calls on the scanner. The fire trucks, the men themselves wanted to go try to rescue them, but there's no point. And the overheads were yelling at them to stand down, stand down. But sir, no, stand down. You're ordered to stand down. I mean, it's crazy time. This fire could have been out. But anyway, the fire is coming. And as the wind is blowing, it's coming toward us, and the flames are so high. And then just before it comes down the last couple hundred yards, the wind shifts and it goes behind the mountain over there on the right. It goes behind the mountain, and we got saved. You look at this and you say, what is the lesson? I run this place. I built it. I run it. These animals are under my care. If anything happens to them, it's me. What am I going to learn from this? You need a bigger engine. So then I bought a fire engine. I searched the country for one and got a fire department was giving up an engine, and I bought it. So I bought this new engine, not an old engine, but I bought this bigger engine, and I learned how to run it. And I ran this for a couple years myself. I call her Big Red. And then I had that engine, and then we had another fire close by, and I said, I'm going to have to get more engines. So I got more engines, and I had crew here that volunteered. My workers volunteered to become fire crew. Then we had the sand fire. And the sand fire was a bad one. I was there at the beginning of it down at Sand Canyon. I saw the thing, and I saw it did a number of things. But bottom line was, it ended up behind us on that big mountain over there on the other side of these mountains, in the forest coming this way. I couldn't see it, but they said it was coming this way. So that's the one where ultimately the Forest Service came here, and I showed them our water and our pond. And right where we're standing, they built a 15,000 gallon water tank that they have in pieces, and they put it up. Took them all day. The next morning, those big sky cranes, giants, they come in and they suck up water. And we were so close to the fire, they would have a 25-minute run to get water. Here, it's 5 minutes. So they were doing literally back and forth, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. 4 days, it was like Vietnam over here. For 4 days they did that. And they eventually knocked it down and thanked us for the water. And we had ultimately a couple of dozen firemen here on the property with them. They have to protect their chopper and the crew, and they also have to protect the land around it in case something happens. So they were here. We took a sigh of relief because at least we had the Forest Service engines were here. So I got all these engines, and meanwhile they need servicing. And so I got lucky. I talked to my friend Gary Marshall, and he said, well, I'm retired. I can't do anything on them, but I can be your technical advisor. I can tell other people what to do. I says, perfect. Now my baby here, this is my Foscheck Prototype 2, and this is the one I take home with me. The money for this was from a supporter of ours, Dr. Bernie Ernst. And when that money came in, it was at the time I was looking at, signing a contract for this engine. And it's a beautiful engine, 562 gallons, 4-wheel drive, climbs mountains. And here it's going to be for spot fires. When a firestorm hits, a fire you can put out a fire. I mean, a fire's that's not terribly hard. If it's windy, you got to get it fast because it could go. And if it's a firestorm with heavy wind and big fire, and it starts 15 miles away and then it comes in at you, that's what this is for. It's for putting out spot fires. Those embers come in. The ember that burns down a house, 5 houses in, 5 rows in, or streets in, those embers take out that juniper. If it's, and that's another thing. These junipers, sometimes they're wet. Sometimes we've had, like right now, they're wet. They're not going to burn. That juniper, try to catch it on fire. It ain't going to happen. Because we've had so much rain, they suck up all the water. They're good. I've seen fires where the only thing left were junipers going up a whole mountain. But when they're dry, they go up. They go up fast. Fortunately, these are wet right now, so we'll have a good fire season on junipers and that kind of thing. Terrible on grass. As grass dries out, whoosh, and the smaller brush also. So anyway, I want to take you down, show you the fire engines, and meet Gary, my buddy. Oh, hey Gary.
¿Cómo está, boss?
How you doing?
Good, how you
Good
doing?
to see you. Pepper. Hi, baby girl. Hi, baby girl. What a pretty girl. Oh, no, she's a doll. She's a doll. Supposed to be a Dalmatian.
No way. How are we doing today?
This is retired Captain Gary Marshall, LA County Fire. He's our technical advisor here, helping us run a little crew, keep our engines up, and going to help us fight fire. So we're going to eventually make a video of us going out on the property and showing where each of these engines go. And you've been working on, how long now have you been working?
On these since October last
year.
The last fire season. Yeah. So yeah, I've got 33 years of experience with the Los Angeles County Fire Department out here. I've been retired for the last 6 years. And I started out my career out here as a volunteer fireman in Acton back in 1979.
Yeah,
so I know a little bit about the hills around here.
I was a volunteer too. I volunteered on my property all these years, and then I remember coming to 81 or 80 every now and then, and just saying, "Hey, we're down here. Just remember us. We're down here." But they're good people. They're the best. So
that's where we first met.
Yeah. And then I remember there wasn't enough action for you. You had to go get transferred out.
Went back to the desert floor.
The guy has to have action. So here's the fleet. We're going to walk through. You've made all these changes.
Yes, sir. These are all. We set this one up towards the end of the last fire season. This was the first one we got up and going 100%.
Delta 1.
So this is Delta 1, 98 Mac Firecat. It's got 1,000 gallons of water. It's got a 1,250 gallon pumper on it. It's all set up to do any type of structure protection slash any type of other fire we may need.
Hi, Pepper. Can we pass, honey?
Yeah.
We want to see the...
Come on, Pepper.
Come on, Pepper.
Says, I'm waiting for you.
This here is the first prototype that Foscheck, I was friends with Foscheck. Those are the people that drop the pink stuff all over the mountains. And they had an idea for a prototype that we'd be able to shoot the Foscheck retardant from the ground. So we had to make it. These are high pressure hoses, and for a couple years it worked great. We did all the brush around here. I could squirt the brush and no rain until it rained a year later. I mean, the brush was protected.
Correct.
But over the course of time, the Foscheck has a lot of clay in it, and it gummed up the works. So we couldn't use this engine for a few years. And then you guys came in, and now we have it working, at least for water. We're not going to use anything else, right?
Correct. Fast attack. We can drive around the property in this if there's spot fire. A lot of time out in front of the fire, you can knock down fires just by putting out the spot fires in front of the fire before they get all the way going. So you got a pony motor in the back here. It starts up, gives us pressure. We can pump up to 100 GPM on this one. High pressure. The nozzle usage was sitting on the inside. I moved it to the outside so it's quick grabbing. It was pretty hard to jump up there and grab it at that point. We just put this stuff on, same thing.
Oh,
it
beautiful.
was so hard to get up there, so we got these now and jump right up there.
You know how much jumping I've done?
Oh, I know, right? And that's a big step for us older guys.
Yeah.
Then we go into our next rig we got all up and going. This is a 1998 Pierce. This is one of the finest rigs that fire department's ever put out.
Just say this one thing. This is, in case the ex-wife watches this, just Say what a good buy this was.
This is one of the finest fire equipment put out on the market. So whatever you got it for, I don't know, but I know what we put into it from where we're at right now, and it's a beautiful rig.
Nice.
Very, very nice. So,
you did a great job with it because it was a mess when it came in.
Yeah, it's.
And then sitting, we have rodents out here, so.
Exactly.
Sitting. Look at Pepper. She finds the biggest shade. She's under the pierce.
There she is.
Pepper's under the pierce. Hi, Pepper.
That's my shadow. She goes everywhere. She was a rescue. Somebody dumped her off, her and her little sister down Aquidolce about a year ago, and we picked her up and had her ever since. So she comes out when we go do test drives in the fire engine. She hops in and goes with me everywhere.
Yep, I've seen her floating around.
She likes looking over at the other dogs and talking with them.
Somebody got the sister?
Yeah, the lady that picked them both up, she took the sister and we took this one.
Nice.
And
so she's young then?
She's only about a year. And
oh my God, I thought she was like 6 or 7.
Oh no, she's. Yeah,
oh well, she's got a forever.
Yeah, she got her forever home now.
Yeah.
She's not going anywhere. So this right here, 98 Pierce. It's a 1,000 GPM pumper.
Now this is for like a crew of 5, right?
Correct. Yeah.
And so tell me what we've got here. This is beautiful.
So right here we got the same configuration. All these rigs are going to be set up basically the same. So everybody that comes in that's going to be pumping them can. We got our 2.5 inch. We go in here with our water. We're going to have these set up where we're going to have another Y off of here. These are all pre-connected too. It means they're plumbed from the inside, so we don't even have to. We just pull the nozzle and we're ready to go. After we pull the hose out of there, don't pull it first.
You got 200 feet here?
So we got 200 feet on this one. I only put 100 foot on this one so far. So over here you got your 1990 parade wagon. This was Leo's baby. This thing came out.
The Awesome. It's called the Awesome.
The Awesome.
The Awesome. Look at this.
Exactly.
It's called the Awesome.
So we've set this thing up, same thing. This thing was set up with 5-inch hose line, which is absolutely, we cannot even move that around. So
well, it comes from another state.
Came from another state. This was set up for big, high-rise structure fire. That's what this rig was. It's a great rig. It pumps great.
Yeah, but when you're buying rigs, give me the big one.
Exactly. This is 1,250 gallons a minute. Another 500 gallons of water, in the tank here.
And that goes by fast.
Right here, we're setting this up so we can come in here and pull a line right off of here, and you can have 2 off of here. You got an extra line all the way across, so you can fight fire immediately with this one too. And
look at this beauty. Look at this beauty. Look at this. Look at this. And once you go up, and Jake probably you have to get up there too.
So this
show them how that works up there.
This will be your engineer. On the other rigs, they're all off the side. This engineer panel's all done up here. So you can fight fire. Once again, you got that 1,000 gallon. This one's set up already for more of the grass here. You can see the smaller nozzle. I want to get one size smaller nozzle so it'll shoot out farther and it'll last a lot longer also.
But look at the controls down here. Jeez.
Every one of these works. Every one of these controls, power in and out, works this top.
That's why you have a crew of 5.
Exactly. On this is a beast. But yeah, this is the last one. This is the last one. We're just now getting this one set up. Once again, this is called a straight board tip on top of here. This one's called a fog tip here, so we can go up and down. We can make it into a fog pattern, which would be great for structure protection. We can change that out in just seconds. Besides that,
beautiful. This is the difference between I'm going to put out fire, and I got my little fire unit, I put it in the back of my truck, and I go out. That's what I was set up on the animals,
Yes.
And that was my thing. And then you get an engine, and I'm going to be able to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. Yeah. And now I set it up my way, but here's a professional setting up the professional way, and I'm blown away. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Wow.
Well, got to protect the animals.
Yeah, and this is
doesn't do any good sitting down here being a parade route.
Parade. And the water tender.
Yes, 2006 water tender set up. This is going to be the most valuable piece of equipment here. County has one of these, maybe 2 in every division for fighting fire. So we're going to have it. Leo's put in some extra stuff here to make this better. So before this was pre-plumbed.
No, let's just clear that up. Gary puts in the stuff. I just rubber stamp and go, what a great idea. I don't know what the hell he's doing, but that's a great idea. We're going to do this until I see it and go, holy crap. This is incredible. So anyway, take the credit.
No. It's all, so we've got this set up where we can turn this on. We can do one at a time. We can do two at a time. We can run 3 at a time, 4 at a time. Go off 2 off one side so we can turn it on and off. We'll get out of the rig. We'll turn these on, and then we can set the PTO inside, and we can go drive by and do fire.
Yep.
So this is really nice. If we even needed to flood down for any reason, right here.
You're getting me all.
Yeah.
I got to get Big Red. We got to get so and so to take care of Big Red someday, because that's a PTO and a wall climber, and like I said, she makes me smile. This is the second.
The Bernie.
The Bernie. This is the second and third and last prototype from Foscheck. I don't know. Somebody gave me fire department hats. I don't wear them. Neither do you. All right. See this here. This is the joystick for controlling the monitor up front. So, you know the big gun that he has on the big engines, the small gun is on this engine. So the whole point is, Jake says thank you. The whole point here is we could do spot fires. Now I'll show you the plan. Meg sits over there, she's lefty, and she runs I drive. She runs the monitor. So she controls it, because I can't be driving and going like this at the same time. So she runs it, and it's perfect. She runs the thing, and I tell her what to do and shoot, and all the controls are here. But I got to show you our plan in a quick. And let me get in the back seat here. So they're going to be talking to me. That's the plan, and they're going to say. They're going to say, Q10, we've got a thing at Q10, we've got a tree burning at Q10. So I take the truck, squirt, squirt, squirt. Oh, get over to T, we've got a juniper's going up at T. Squirt, squirt, squirt. Oh, back over your puddle runs, we got it coming up, squirt, squirt, squirt. So that was the plan here, is to have the road map. And then take this engine out to the hot spots. Wherever there's a hot spot, take the engine. I'm gonna go fill this sucker up.
Okay.
So that we're ready. I'm gonna play with I'll play with all the plumbing.
Okay. Have a great day.
Take care. This rig is all set, right?
It's ready to go.
So we're going to take it up. We're going to talk fire. We're going to talk about where the wind comes, where the fire can come, what's happened, and how we're going to defend it. He's done amazing work with the engines. You know, the hoses here, hoses there, hoses there. So I want to talk about which hoses they're going to grab and which, depending on the fire. And then at the end, we have a real surprise for you. We're going to show you one fire stream, one water stream, I should say, and it's all geared up and ready. It's the only water we're going to squirt today. So I think we
out of here.
We get out of here.
Oh, that's why.
Look at that little mouse turds already. There's little mouse turds up there. Hi, Pepper. Hi, Pepper. Hi, honey. You're a good girl. You're a beautiful girl. You're a beautiful girl.
We just don't want to be shooting in these lines right here.
Alright, so
we can shoot right over the top if you want there.
Can you shoot over the tree and not hit the tree?
Sure. Think so.
Right over here? Alright. Alright, that's good. My watchdog. Just watching the rig. So Gary, this is what we're protecting. Well, as you know, the hospital. Now we put on, you see on the top, we put those fire sprinklers on. I had them made. All the buildings have them, so the people know, whoever's working, they're all hooked up. They're proven. At least the guy who invented them says the hoses have last summer and winter up in the snow country, 12 years so far. So the UV doesn't bother them. But anyway, we got them made. So if there is a fire, we have our own water, we have our own well and our own electricity. So if there is a fire, we soak down the building. You know, I just heard, man, I don't know if you heard this, but I heard this a few months ago that they said, you know, here we got all this stuff and whatever, clear the brush and do all this. And they said the one thing that protects a house more than anything is soaking it a half hour in front of the fire. I know your county is saying all the water.
Yeah, you don't want to waste your water doing that.
Yeah, because you're going to be...
Because you got at least 1,000 degrees of heat that's going to hit that house way before the fire hits it. It starts drying it out immediately. So sprinklers are good if you're here.
Well, embers.
But
embers.
Sometimes the bad thing about sprinklers, they'll bit a hole somewhere else in the line, and then you're just sprinkling water over somewhere you don't want it. So,
well, these cost us. These were expensive hose. When you check out the hose, when you see a red hose, it's good stuff. So, but if nothing else, embers.
Exactly.
Embers.
And that's what everybody realized when you're in a brush fire. It's coming up on you so fast. I mean, the best thing is get your clearance done prior to that, and then take care of wherever it's going to hit at that point. Because anything that hits the trees, anything dead brush around here, that's what's going to ignite. And that's next to the house. It's going up.
Right. So, let's look a little bit back here. Jake, let's go down here. This gas tank, this 500-gallon tank is only for the generator. Those are running everything else, but separate for the Jenny, so that no matter what, we've got juice.
Nice. So yeah, if you're thinking it's coming through here and the northeast winds are blowing, you're going to be coming up and down through. It just depends. If it starts over that way, that's where the Blum Ranch and all that stuff is over there. Could easily start over that way and work its way right through here, or if it starts over there.
So far it's done that. So far, this hasn't been. We've been here since '86. This has never burned. But this is the worst I've seen it. You know, with the grass. Now Station went around. Station went all around us over to here, and it burnt behind here, and I thought, uh-oh. But the wind was, the prevailing wind, so we didn't...
the prevailing wind's coming out of the southwest. So it bumped it around here, but like I said, you never know which day of the week or which way it's going to be coming. You got to prepare for everything.
So if we could talk about from the engine, what do you have planned?
From the engine here, we got a 1.5 inch Y off the backs. We'll back in here.
And you're going to back in. Here's the right where you're sitting now is between the two most important buildings.
But you wouldn't want to be here if the fire is burning up through here. You want to be out there a little more in the clearing. We can still protect it from there with no problem, because we have 1.5 inch lines that will come off either way. If you got your prevailing wind coming up here, you want to keep it out of these trees before it goes over the top and hits that. If you get it up into here, this tree is going to put you about 70, 80 foot flame lengths, and you're not going to stop at that point.
So where's the best place for the engine? I stopped there because I wanted you to see the two.
Right. The engine
should be in front of the hospital.
We can pull right there, and we can back right in, because this right here, I deployed lines right here. This is 150 feet, takes us all the way around. We take 150 feet, we can protect that with that. And then we still have our side discharge gates. We can pull another line off there, and we can Y that off and put 2 more lines over here to protect this also.
Now when you say backing in to where?
right into where that red truck is. We just pull up right there by the cat house and then back straight in there.
Oh, back in this way?
Correct.
Oh, so you're going to go around the other side?
Yeah, so if something happens and we do have to, get out of there, we're facing out at that point.
Right, but you're on the other side of the hospital and we still have the cattery here.
We got plenty of lines to go. That's just off one outlet off the back that we protect this with, and we got 4 outlets on the other side, on the engineer panel side, that'll be facing this way. We can bring off, and then like we were talking about, we still got the monitor too.
Right.
If we're in heavy fire, we can bring that monitor out and put some damage to some fire real quick. Just depends on how long you have to set up. If the fire's here, if we get here late and we're jumping, we're going to bring out the bigger lines. But if we have time to, set up and do our deployments and everything out, do structure protection, we're going to set it up.
Mostly that's what we've been doing.
Right.
Mostly. We haven't had anything, chasing us uphill. Yeah, it's always been imminent. It's always been, get everything ready any minute.
Yeah. We don't act for the 99% of the time.
Right.
We only act for that 1%.
All right, so you come up and you back in over there.
Correct. And I can show you that when we get over there.
Now today, I put the engine there again so we could see this, and we have the monitor so we can shoot it up this way. We won't be shooting it if we back in over there, but we can say we backed in, and then can we talk at the engine, talk about where you're going to deploy the lines?
Yeah.
Is that your line or ours?
That's yours. I mean,
yeah, I know.
It's all yours.
Right.
Yeah, but I put that out. I just wanted to run 100 foot and then 50 foot out to here to go around the back side, so you'll have complete coverage of this.
You put that there?
I did.
For pre-deployment?
Correct.
This is the other fire pump we've always done it with. We've got a few hundred feet of going that way and a few hundred feet going that way. Always run out of here before the engines. And this is the deal. But I'm wondering if you could, if we're really fighting and you've got the engine backed in, if we could configure this so that we can do a quick adapter and fill the engine.
Yeah, well, we got Tatanka too, the water tender. We got 2,000 gallons with that, so we got time. We backed Tatanka right in there, and we got another 2,000 gallons. If you're fighting fire at 100 gallons a minute, you got 3,000 gallons of water. You got 30 minutes worth of firefighting.
What kind of reach do we have with the monitor?
Oh.
I mean, I've seen it shoot. It looked like 100 feet, 150 feet.
I don't know if it's 100 feet, but it's a good 50, 60 feet. Hook it up, give it a shot, see what we got.
Look at her.
She's ready.
She's ready. I'm going in. I'm going in. Yeah, to get her a little yellow jacket. This engine's the Pierce. We name them all so that we know who we're talking about. And Gary named this one after my daughter Meg. He's going to put decals on that says Meg. So we got the Meg, the water tender. He named it after some cartoon character called Tatanka. And I didn't get it till I read it. Tatanka, T-A-N-K-A, Tatanka, the tanker, the tanker. So the water tender's the tanker, 2,000 gallons. And then we've got Big Red, Little Red, Bernie, Awesome. I love that name. We've got Awesome, that's the big rig. And Delta One. Delta One's a 1,000-gallon tank, and that's the first engine we ever had out here. So here we are at the Meg. Yep.
Let's get Meg fired up.
This is our big gun. You can set it up as a rifle or a shotgun, a fog or a stream. We set it up for a stream. It shoots a lot of water fast, so you don't have a lot of time with it, but it has a lot of distance. So we're going to shoot that off so you guys can see it. And I think let's stand back here. Here comes Jake. He'll do it for 10 seconds. Gary, that's at least 100 feet, if not more. Look at it.
That's what you want, right?
Yeah, he says stop.
Pull me off, Gary, thanks.
This is Jake, our camera operator, DP. Look at him wringing out his clothes. He said, let me have a ladder, I'll get the great shot, I'll go up on the container. So after about 10 seconds, he's yelling at us to shut the water off, and we can't hear him because of the engine and the hose, and there he is, soaking wet. So that monitor is, Gary says it's only about half mast. He says we can double the, right?
Yep. Get the outreach. That's an 1 3/8 straight bore nozzle, and we want to go even further. We can go down another notch, 1 inch.
Wow.
And we can get even more distance out of it. So.
Incredible. And he said it was only half throttle. I remember when we first got it, the guys took a video on the camera, sent it to me. It looked like an easy 200 feet, if not more, straight uphill.
Yeah.
I mean, there wasn't any, in golf they would say roll. There wasn't any roll. It was straight out there. So, man, that's powerful. I mean, I'm looking at you. We're putting the hose. This is almost like your tender pulling up to the fire with the hay or the motorhome.
Yeah, exactly.
This is like, bring it on. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. We park right here. We have these 2 lines deployed on either side, and then you can protect this whole area just with a monitor.
Yeah.
There's nothing going to get by you unless we're not here. Is the only thing.
I know.
That's the only.
Well, so far we've been warned. So far we know a fire's coming up the canyon. We've got a day, 2 days.
Right.
You know, if it starts close by, we got a half a day. Santa Ana, we're always ready. But Santa Ana, usually I watch the map. You know, I look at it's going that way. It's coming this way. So far it's gone around us.
Right.
But thank you for being here and having us ready. This is the first time I felt confident that we could actually survive a bad one. At the end of the video, we're going to have the flyover with our drone, and you're going to see the whole property and look at what we're trying to protect here.
Let's go, dog. Fire dog.
I've got to get the chalk.
Got it. Engineered for 12 years. Pepper.
Ah.